Will Liv Morgan leave Judgment Day? All you need to know about her apparent replacement. Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am Jennifer. Have a nice day. For the WWE Family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Liv Morgan's 2025 has been a mixed bag. On one hand, she successfully captured her 4th Tag Team Championship with Raquel Rodriguez after WrestleMania 41 and elevated her status as one of the most prominent performers on the main roster. However, her momentum has come to a big halt, owing to her disastrous shoulder injury on the June 16th edition of Raw. In a match against Kairi Sane, the former world champion suffered a nasty fall with her shoulder hitting the mat awkwardly. Morgan immediately rinsed in pain and rolled out of the ring while still holding her shoulder in agony. It was later reported that she had suffered a dislocated shoulder and would require surgery, and thus taking her out of action for a couple of months. However, this absence has raised a big question about her place in Judgment Day. But why? On the June 30th edition of Raw, Roxanne Perez, along with Raquel Rodriguez, held on to the women's tag team titles in the absence of Morgan, with the Judgment Day voting unanimously in her favor. This move saved Rodriguez from being forced to relinquish the belts in the absence of Morgan. Although Dominik Mysterio suggested talking to Morgan about the change, but Finn Balor convinced the Intercontinental Champion otherwise. Moreover, it was Balor who, along with JD McDonough, convinced Raw and SmackDown GMs to nod in favor of Perez. This change further planted seeds of Perez permanently taking Morgan's place in the stable. Moreover, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Perez has been a constant help to the stable and has also interfered in matches involving Morgan and Rodriguez. And ever since Mysterio captured the IC title at WrestleMania, Balor has realized that Morgan and Mysterio are now the top dogs of the stable, a position Balor yearned for after banishing Damian Priest. Many expected the Irishman to cost Mysterio the title just like he did to Priest, but instead, he's effectively used Perez as a point of contention between the new stable leaders. When Morgan eventually returns, she will certainly not be happy to find out about being replaced, all thanks to Balor's behind-the-scenes scheming. After all, Morgan is the same woman who, after the departures of Priest and Rhea Ripley, had become the de facto leader of Judgment Day. In storyline, Morgan had forced her way into the faction and ultimately Mysterio's arms, so it's only natural she now fears Roxanne Perez might be doing the same. WWE has been planting seeds for a Morgan face turn for some time, and now the moment feels right. A dramatic split from Judgment Day could launch her into a fresh run as one of WWE's top babyface stars. Additional details have emerged regarding WWE star Liv Morgan's alleged stalker, with The Independent publishing a report that includes some exclusive info. Based on an FBI probable cause affidavit, an unidentified Canadian man flew to Orlando, Florida in May to seek out Morgan. Matching up details from the affidavit with arrest records, the outlet identified the accused stalker as 41-year-old Sean Chan from Scarborough, Ontario. Upon arriving in Orlando, Chan is alleged to have told customs officials that he was staying at the WWE Performance Center, which was evidently not fact-checked by the agents. Chan was able to discover the location of Morgan's home, and on May 31st, he approached the wrestler's house and unsuccessfully attempted to make entry. After failing to get in through the front door, the suspect picked up an air rifle that had apparently been left on Morgan's porch and waited 2 hours for the performer to return home. When she did not, he became discouraged and left several notes before leaving. The notes allegedly referred to being wronged by members of an online gaming community, and insist that his visit had been friendly. Chan is said to have left his address and phone number for Morgan. Days later, Chan showed up at the WWE PC in another attempt to find Morgan, but the company security team recognized the individual from camera footage taken outside Morgan's residence. There were actually 2 arrests made at the PC that night, leading to some crossed wires. The Orange County Sheriff's Office originally told Wrestling Inc. that Chan was taken into custody for an outstanding burglary warrant from Pasco County, Florida. When asked why Chan was initially detained by the arresting officer and about a connection to the reports of stalking Morgan, OCSO's Media Relations Department said it had no additional details whatsoever. Chan was indicted in Florida this past Wednesday, and he'll appear in federal court on July 18th. If he is found guilty of interstate domestic violence, Chan could face up to 5 years in prison. Also included in the affidavit was a statement from Morgan indicating that this isn't the first time someone has discovered her address and approached her home, as 2 other individuals had previously done the same. The incident also bears some similarity to the case of Sonia Deville's stalker and shines another light on the hazards of becoming a public figure. Court documents say the suspect, 41 from Scarborough, Ontario, told federal immigration and customs officials he was traveling to Orlando to visit the WWE Performance Center, a training facility for wrestlers. Cybercrime group is targeting airlines. FBI says, how are passengers being affected? WWE security personnel contacted the Pasco County Sheriff's Office after Morgan, whose real name is Yana Daddio, reported an unknown man walking around her property while she was traveling on May 31st. Morgan's mother, Georgette Daddio, told them she looks after the property while her daughter is away for work. Morgan's mother arrived at the home on June 2nd to find packages on the front porch, along with a handwritten note. The 2-page letter, which Georgette Daddio described as disturbing, discussed Morgan and other wrestlers. According to the criminal complaint, the letter began with the suspect identifying himself as the guy you all hang out with on FFII online, the one who called you Bubble, and also the one that you all disrespected, exploited, and invaded my privacy on a daily basis, all the way in Canada. I came here to pay just a friendly visit, nothing more. Yet I'm the one who looks like a stalker TXX to all of you, the letter continued. Officials did not share any additional excerpts from the letter, but said the suspect was rambling about being spied on and taken advantage of by the people mentioned in the note. Court documents say the 41-year-old was caught on camera bypassing the neighborhood's front gate and then trying to enter the home, as well as a barn in the backyard. He was accused of searching for a key under the doormat and then forcefully grabbing the door handle, causing the top of the door frame to visibly shake. Security camera footage also showed the suspect holding an AAR-15 style BB gun that Morgan left on the porch while trying to get into the home from multiple entry points, according to the complaint. He was booked into the Pasco County Jail on June 10th and charged with burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. WWE has helped several WWE stars amass a considerable amount of wealth over the years with their big paychecks. Not just WWE, with popularity comes great market appeal and connection, making them gain massive wealth over time. The entertainment factor that these top WWE wrestlers bring with them in the wrestling ring is unmatched, for which they are paid hefty amount of salaries from the company's end. Not only these, the WWE superstars also earn from their business ventures, acting skills, and brand endorsements too, which equally contribute to their net worth that they generate every year. On this note, let's take a look at the net worth of WWE's female superstars and who tops the list among the richest of all. Here's the list of the top richest WWE female superstars who have managed to amass a humongous amount of wealth and net worth in 2025 with their charisma, screen presence, personality, and business ventures. WWE's Liv Morgan is one of the most celebrated players of WWE. She is one of the finest marquee players of the company who has carved a niche for herself in the women's division. Regarding her net worth and WWE's salary in 2025, Liv Morgan's net worth is estimated to be around $3 million. She is undoubtedly experiencing a significant increase in her base pay from the WWE, which is thought to be around $600,000 per year. She also receives money from WWE Pay, royalties from merchandise sales, and several other business endeavors. The selling of products, which accounts for a large portion of her income, saw an exponential rise in sales volumes as her following grew. WWE's Australian powerhouse, Rhea Ripley, is considered one of the marquee players of the women's wrestling segment of the Stamford-based promotion. Ripley has amassed a lot of fortune, including luxurious properties, to a burgeoning net worth. She is expected to have a net worth of $1 million to $3 million by 2025. Her WWE Pay, product sales, pay-per-view appearances, and brand sponsorships are just a few of the revenue sources taken into account in this estimate. The Judgment Day faction member has secured numerous endorsement deals, including collaborations with C4 Energy, Mattel, Nexus Sports Nutrition, WWE 2K25, and Topps, which add to her wealth and net worth. According to multiple media outlets and Celebrity Net Worth, Becky Lynch commands an impressive net worth of $7 million, with a reported WWE salary of $3 million from WWE and the rest from endorsements and outside projects. She is one of the highest-paid female wrestlers of all time. On the other hand, Seth Rollins had a staggering net worth of $12 million, with the majority of his income coming from his wrestling appearances. The most hectic part of being a WWE wrestler is being on the road for the majority of the year. If that number is taken into account, then it amounts to about 300 days traveling from one city, country, and continent to another to perform and put their bodies on the line. And while the promotion is neck-deep with talent divided across the 3 brands of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, the company has been hit with injury woes and personal time-offs. In recent times, several wrestlers on the main roster have been inactive on television or have not been able to commit to in-ring duties owing to some sort of shortcoming. A total of 13 superstars have not been seen on television for a considerable amount of time. Here is the full list. The list includes some top stars like Kevin Owens, Liv Morgan, Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio, Bianca Belair, Otis, and Tama Tonga. Owens has been off WWE television since April and is yet to undergo neck surgery following a serious injury. This resulted in him withdrawing from his WrestleMania 41 grudge match against Randy Orton. Following the same brigade, Liv Morgan also suffered a gruesome shoulder injury on the June 16th edition of Raw in a match against Kairi Sane. The former women's world champion recently underwent surgery and is in rehab. As revealed on the June 30th segment of Raw, she is expected to be back in a couple of weeks. The next wrestler on the list is not out due to an injury. Roman Reigns was last seen on WWE television on Raw after WrestleMania 41 and was attacked by Seth Rollins and new stablemates, including Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Reigns is set to play Akuma in the legendary Street Fighter reboot. The Tribal Chief is expected to be back at SummerSlam and resume his rivalry with Rollins. Other prominent names not seen on television in recent times include Zoe Stark, Apollo Crews, Ilja Dragunov, Chad Gable, and Big E. The list includes an interesting name in the form of Dominik Mysterio, who appeared on Raw last week but is reportedly suffering from a rib injury, because of which his Intercontinental title match against AJ Styles was canceled at Night of Champions. The list also had names like Tonga Loa and Drew McIntyre. However, Loa returned at Night of Champions and helped his stablemate Sola Sikoa to win the United States title against Jacob Fatu in Riyadh. On the other hand, McIntyre is all set to return on this week's SmackDown